What's up, YouTube family? It's Chris from Dullah here, and I got a different type of video for you guys today. So the past few videos, I'm gonna link them down below, just in case you haven't seen them, but the past few videos have been really all sunshine and rainbows. All, everything's all good. We're falling in love, the whole nine, all that good stuff. So today's video is actually gonna be a little different because we all know in reality, every relationship isn't going to be perfect, run smooth from start to finish. It's just not going to be like that in reality. You're going to have your bumps in the road, your hurdles that you got to get over. Life is going to throw you some curveballs that you got to figure out how to navigate around. So today I want to talk to you guys about the first hurdle that we had in our relationship and how we figured out how to get around it and actually become stronger because of it. So keep watching and enjoy. All right, so when we last left off, this was August 18th, 2015. I just asked Shannon to officially be my girlfriend and make our relationship exclusive, which of course she accepted. But going back to earlier in that video, I talked about, I think it was August 8th, when I introduced Shannon to my mom. So that same day, I had introduced her to Frank first, my little brother. And how I did that was I had took Frank to the gym that was in our apartment complex. And Shannon was working that day. So I texted her, told her, hey, I'm coming to the gym. My little brother's going to be there. If you have a moment to slip away, can you, step over there and then into the gym and introduce yourself? So, of course, she was excited to do that. So we're in the gym. It's me and Frank. Shannon comes in. I greet her, hi, hug, kiss, the whole nine. Nothing too crazy, just a typical greeting that you would give somebody that you were in a dating relationship with. She meets Frank, everything goes smooth. I think there's one other guy in the gym that's walking on the treadmill, not paying us any mind. He's actually facing the opposite direction. So after a brief conversation, we say bye, same thing, hug, kiss, goodbye. And that was it. No big deal, right? So, fast forward, a few days past that, she gets pulled into the office and actually gets a write-up for, fraternizing or public signs of affection. I don't know. I guess they said, basically what they were saying was, that they received a complaint from a resident who the only person in there was that guy who was not looking at us or paying us any mind. But they received a complaint saying that we were making out and tonguing each other down type stuff in the gym. And they said that Shannon, the leasing consultant, was making out with a resident, which, how can anybody know who I am or what, or if I live there or not? I could have been a guest of somebody, who knows? But either way, we weren't in there making out. And, it just seemed crazy and ridiculous to me. But at the same time, she got written up for it. And you all know at work, you get too many write-ups for the same thing, that's grounds for termination. So I didn't want to be the reason that she would get terminated. So I slowly started to reduce the amount of time that I was popping up at her job. If I was home, she would kind of take her break and just leave and come to the apartment and hang out with me there. Or, if I was on my way to work, I'd step in just to see her for a couple minutes, say hi, talk to her for a minute, and, leave. Most, I would give her a hug. At most. Would not kiss her on the cheek. Definitely wouldn't kiss her on the lips. Just give her a hug, to greet her and to say goodbye, and that was it. Nothing too crazy. We thought everything was good. We thought we were doing everything the right way. They that complaint was about us making out. So our lips stopped touching while she was at work. That was just, the adjustment that we made. And apparently that wasn't enough. Because on August 26th, she got fired. She got fired. And the reason that they gave her, which they gave her a written statement showing why they were firing her, but the reason that they gave her was because she was fraternizing with a resident or not a resident, she was fraternizing with another employee, which apparently is a rule that particular company had that you couldn't do. Now, mind you, yes, I was getting a discount on rent. Yes, I was providing services to get that discount on rent, but I wasn't an actual employee. I wasn't getting paid by them through 1099 or W-2s or anything like that. I wasn't an actual employee, but they deemed me an employee because I was providing services and getting a discount. So I guess the discount was effectively or essentially them paying me. Whatever rules they wanted to make up, that's what they used to fire Shannon, which Shannon was probably the best worker in there that they had. But at the end of the day, they didn't like our relationship. They didn't like me popping up in the office. Before, I'd never popped up in the office ever. And then all of a sudden, I was there all the time because, my girl was working there. So I don't know. They just didn't like it. They did not like it. So they gave Shannon her walking papers and fired her, which was a double hit for her because one, she was getting a discount on her rent too. Not as big as mine, but she was getting a discount on her rent just for being an employee. And, she was working there. So in firing her, they take away her discount and take away her source of income. So it was a double shot for her. So I felt horrible because in my mind, even though we made the adjustments that we made, it was my fault. They used me as an excuse to fire her. So I felt horrible about the situation. And I didn't have long to feel horrible about it for her because right after she calls me to tell me that she was fired, I get a knock on the door and I open it and see a letter, I guess like just sitting on the front, or I think it was stuffed into the door or whatever. But I get a letter from the leasing office saying that I was also fired. Basically, the letter just said that they no longer needed my services, and because they no longer needed my services, they were taking away my discount. And they made sure to tell me that they had the right to have however many courtesy officers in the development that they wanted to. And at this time, they decided to reduce it from 3 to 2. And I was the one getting the boot. So, not only did they fire her and up her rent, they now fired me and doubled my rent, which that hurt for me bad because I was in the process of trying to dig myself out of a bad debt situation with a bunch of credit cards that had built up over the years. So having that discounted rent helped me to be able to live the lifestyle that I wanted to live and get myself out of debt while doing so. So in doubling my rent, they really, really screwed me up. So, of course I called Shannon and let her know, listen, this is what happened to me. They didn't just fire you, they're firing me too. So now she's like really pissed off. She was pissed off to begin with, but now she's super pissed off because now they're attacking not only her, but they're attacking me for no apparent reason. So I went up to the leasing office and I was just like, listen, I signed a 2-year lease and I had well over a year left to go. And the only reason why I signed that lease was because it was based off of the rent that I was quoted with the discount. Without the discount, you guys are putting me in a bad spot. I may not be able to even afford to live here anymore. And they basically said, listen, I understand that you are in a bad spot. I understand that Shannon's in a bad spot. But this is the rules that we have, whatever excuse they gave. But they said to accommodate us that they would give us the opportunity if we found another place to live, to break our lease early without a lease break fee, without having to pay back extra, 1 or 2 months rent or anything like that. as soon as we want to break our lease, we just need to let them know, and and we can leave free of charge. So that's what they told me. So I went back to the apartment. Shannon came over, and we were sitting there talking, trying to brainstorm and figure out what we were going to do. Now, mind you, at this point, me and Shannon have been dating, really only known each other for a little over a month. Yes, I've been gone for maybe about a week and a half of that month, but during that time period that we were together, we spent almost every single solitary day together, or communicated in some way every single solitary day. And on the latter days, especially after we made our relationship official, she was pretty much over my apartment 24/7. She rarely used her apartment. She would go over there to pick up clothes or whatever she would need to do. But 9 times out of 10, she was at my apartment, 24/7, all the time. I thought, or she was upset with me if she would leave and go to her apartment for a little bit. I'd be like, yo, what's going on? Did I do something wrong? What's going on? But sometimes she would just need to go over there and have her alone time, or just get some stuff, whatever the case may be, but for the most part, she was over my apartment all the time. So we were effectively only using one apartment at a time, between the two of us. So, we were probably going to be looking into moving in together anyway, eventually. But, our leases we had so much time on our leases, it was not even a thought in our mind at this point. But with the situation that we had brought in front of us now, where our rent's about to double and we have an opportunity to leave free of charge, she kind of brought the question, what do you think about us moving in together? And I thought about it, and it was kind of like a no-brainer to me. It was like, we're basically living together now anyway. I enjoy having you here, having you in my space, us sharing a space. I just enjoy spending time with you as much as I can. So why not? Let's do it. Let's move in together. It only makes sense. We'll basically share the load of, bills and rent and things of that nature. And, we'll do what we're doing now, which is, spending every day together and living in one apartment. So, yeah, let's move in together. So, of course, we're telling our friends and family, like, hey, me and Shannon are looking to get a place together. We're going to move in together. And, everybody's up in arms. Oh, you guys don't hardly know each other. You guys are moving way too fast. This is too much. You guys are, doing this, doing that. You're doing it wrong, blah, blah, blah. The thing that people got to realize is that your relationship is your relationship. There are no set rules on how you're going to run your relationship, how you're going to progress your relationship, and what speed you're going to move at. Some people, it works to move slow. Some people, it works to move fast. Some people, it just works to move at whatever pace you want to move at. Our relationship is our relationship, and we were moving at the pace that was comfortable for us. So that's what made it work. So, we pretty much ignored all the warnings that our friends and family gave us about that. And we just went ahead and did what we needed to do. So, beginning of October, I'm not sure if it's the beginning of October or right at the end of September, but basically at that time we moved into an apartment together. A really nice apartment. It's a newer apartment complex in Greensboro. So we moved into the apartment together, and from that point on, obviously we were together 24/7. So it ended up being probably the best thing that could happen to us, to be honest with you, because it made us progress our relationship a little bit quicker, but it put us in a situation where we actually got way much more closer than we probably would have had we just continued to just date and spend the night over each other's apartment. Living together is a completely different dynamic than just spending the night or vacationing or any of that. When you live together, like legitimately live together, it's a completely different dynamic, and it proved to be probably the best thing that could have happened to our relationship at that time. And if you look back at our social media, like Instagram, Facebook, whatever, if you look back and look at our posts starting right around September, but especially beginning of October, you'll start to see that we got way more public with our relationship. We were talking about each other way more and posting photos and videos of each other way more. Especially if you look at her page, you'll see a complete switch right at October when we moved in together. You'll see a complete switch. So again, I think it was a blessing in disguise. It looked like it was probably one of the worst things that could happen, and it quickly became one of the best things. So thank you to that apartment complex, I think Amesbury. Thank you, Amesbury, for firing us and kicking us out, because you guys helped us progress our relationship in a way that we weren't going to do unless we were forced to. So thank you guys for that. But yeah, that's the story that I wanted to bring to you guys. Again, every relationship is different, but every relationship hits its brick walls, its hurdles, whatever the case may be, and you got to figure out how to get around that. And if you can't, that could be a relationship killer. So for us, this situation did not hold us back. It actually made us stronger. Thank you guys for watching and watching to the end. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what you think about this video. And if you have any questions about that situation and how it all went down that I may not have answered in this video, you guys are going to want to keep an eye out for the next video, because I'm going to explain that first picture in the intro where it says, when I knew he was the one. I'm going to explain to you what that means and what happened that day that made her think or officially made her believe that I was the one. So hit the bell notification so you can see when that pops up. Thank you guys, and I will see you on the next video.